Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is Thursday, April 9th, 2020. What I'm going to do today is take you guys for a ride to the South Bronx where I do a lot of my eBay sourcing. I thought this might be something a little different you guys would enjoy because not only can we talk about eBay, but we can also see some of the sites in the South Bronx. And I'll point out some things along the way that I think you guys might find interesting. So let's get started. As you can see, it is once again a cloudy, dark, dismal day in New York City. We have not had a sunny day yet, and as long as I can remember. Even right now, while I'm sitting here narrating this video, it's cloudy and raining. So anyway, the traffic is extremely light and has been light for the last few weeks because almost all the businesses are closed in the New York City area. The only businesses that are allowed to open are what called essential businesses. Now it's hard to believe some of the businesses that are considered essential businesses. As I spoke of last week, liquor stores are considered essential businesses. Who knew, right? Another thing that really surprised me is junkyards. Junkyards are considered essential businesses. And that's fine with me because I can't open today, neither can any stores in my area open today. So I am going to take a ride to the South Bronx and I'm going to do some sourcing. This is the perfect day because traffic is so unbelievably light. Any of you guys who travel this route know that bumper-to-bumper traffic jams are the norm, especially during the daytime. So yeah, hopefully your eBay sales have been holding up steadily for you guys and pulling you through. My sales thankfully have been very, very good, which is one of the reasons I figured I would head over and get some more stuff today. I have noticed for the last, I'd say 3 or 4 weeks, people are flocking online to make their purchases. And I don't blame them one bit. I don't want to go to any stores more than the next guy and risk exposure to the coronavirus. It's much easier to do all my purchases online. I think that even when this coronavirus outbreak finally wanes away and ends, I don't think retail is ever going to be the same as it has been. I think a lot of small businesses are going to close forever. Some may not even reopen because people are going to get in the habit of doing their purchases online. I'd like to talk a little bit now about some of the things that I think you guys can do to help yourself increase your eBay sales during this crucial time. First of all, most of you guys probably received 50,000 free listings on eBay, and I know most of you guys can't use them all. I can't. Nobody can. But in addition to listing, I would heartily suggest that you guys go through your listings and end your old stale listings. Do them 10 or 15 at a time. Refresh them. At least take some new pictures, lower the prices, relist, and bang. There you go. You're taking advantage of 15 free listings each time you do that. Do not click on relist though. Click on sell similar. That's very important because it will give you a new eBay user ID in Google search and it will bump you up in this search initially. You may have noticed as I was driving just before this scene, the traffic was backed up on the left side going westbound, and that was because during the day they shut down the Cross Bronx to one lane just beyond the Hamilton Bridge so they could do road repair every day of the week. It's unbelievable. But yeah, this is a rare treat, driving to the South Bronx and hitting no traffic whatsoever. I like going to junkyards and buying in bulk. As you probably know, I actually started going to junkyards when I was about 10 years old. I'm not kidding. Most kids were never into junkyards. But I used to go there when I was like 11 and 12 with one of my best friends. We would go to the junkyard, and we were allowed in the junkyard, and we were the only kids that were, except my friend soon bailed out. He just didn't want to be bothered with it anymore. It really didn't interest him. So I would go alone, and I was the only kid who had the run of the junkyard. You never ever see or hear kids going to junkyards today or even being interested in cars for the most part, which is a real shame. I really think there's a lot to learn in the automotive industry, not just working on cars and parts, but learning about the culture. I really am into old cars myself, and I find them very interesting and intriguing. I like big cars from the 50s, 60s, 70s, even some of the 80s, because the stuff they're putting out today, in my opinion, for the most part, is junk. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get off the Cross Bronx Expressway and get on to what was once known as the Sheridan Expressway. The Sheridan Expressway has the dubious distinction of being the only highway in my lifetime that's ever been downgraded to a boulevard. Let me tell you how New York City is foolish as usual. You can see right now this is all brand new concrete, just about. About 15 years ago, they rebuilt this road with brand new concrete and spent millions of dollars doing so. Here, you can see they tore the entire roadway back up and installed traffic lights. This is no longer an expressway. It is considered a boulevard, and the traffic lights are up so people can cross. I had to seriously edit this video at the traffic lights, not just the one we just went through, but the ones we're going to go through, because these lights are extremely long, and I didn't want to be sitting at each traffic light for 5 minutes. I am now getting off at what's known as the Whitlock Avenue exit off the Sheridan Boulevard. This is the main entrance to Hunts Point coming from this way. We'll soon be going under the L. Hunts Point is notorious for not just junkyards, but all kinds of automobilia. There are a lot of specialty shops. Glass shops especially proliferate the area. You can get a windshield, a door window, a side view mirror, just about anything you need here. Years ago, when I had my previous car, I had been at the beach, and I came out, and the window was broken. I guess the side view mirror was broken, rather. I don't know if somebody was trying to steal it or they banged into it. And the dealer wanted some ungodly amount of money, like $300. But the funny thing is, the way the mirror was broken, only the glass piece of the mirror was broken, not the housing itself. So I came here to Hunts Point, and I started searching to see if I could find someone that had a used side view mirror for my Chevy. And I checked one place, they didn't have it. I checked another place. Then I came upon this little place that was off Randall Avenue, and they didn't have the mirror, but they had a guy there that cut the glass exactly to the specifications of my mirror and glued it in for me and charged me $20. I thought that was a super deal. Getting a mirror cut to order and installed for $20 instead of going to the dealer and spending $350 or whatever ridiculous price they wanted. There are also many tire shops, taillight shops, you name it, you can find it in Hunts Point. When I was a kid, when I was young, back in the early 80s, Hunts Point was a lot more dangerous than it is today. It has come back a lot. Hunts Point is notorious for its reputation for the big Hunts Point market, which serves the whole area. It's a big produce market as well as other things too. A lot of truck traffic comes to Hunts Point, as you're going to see.
I'm now making a left, and I'm going into what I call the heart of Hunts Point, because I'm on my way to a junkyard that I go to periodically for my merchandise. A lot of over-the-road truckers sometimes leave their trucks here overnight. And one trick that they use to make sure that they're not broken into is they will back up and park trailer to trailer, touching each other, so that vandals cannot break the doors open and steal their goods. It's a good old trick I've seen used many times in the area. Guys, I find Hunts Point to be a really rich area in local color. A lot of videos were made in Hunts Point. I don't mean videos, I mean movies. There was a movie that I believe came out in 1981 called Fort Apache, the Bronx. Certainly you remember that movie. Much of it was filmed on location in this area. The stars, I believe, were Paul Newman and Danny Aiello. And I went to see that movie in the movies back when it came out in 1981 with a friend of mine. So yeah, it was full of local Hunts Point color. So if you ever want to see a movie that was made predominantly in Hunts Point, I would recommend Fort Apache, the Bronx. Guys, I'm not going to keep you too long because I have my regular eBay video coming out tomorrow, which is Friday as usual. I'll be putting it out in the afternoon or early in the evening. And if you like this kind of thing, these kinds of on-location videos, let me know, because for the first time in my life, I actually have ample time where I can make videos about just about any location you want, whether it's in Hunts Point or wherever. As you know, I also make videos about eBay too. So guys, thanks for watching this video. In the comments section below, tell me what you think, whether positive or negative. I don't mind. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. As you can see, I'm just getting to the junkyard now, so I have to bring this to a close. One more thing. Be careful where you park your car in this area. Not just from vandals, but for the ticket writers. NYPD, not the real cops, or sometimes it is the real cops, but sometimes it's the meter maids, and they love to write tickets out here. I got one years ago for double parking, but I was able to beat the ticket on a technicality because the officer wrote the wrong address. Instead of writing an address for the South Bronx, he wrote me up in the North Bronx, and I never understood why. So I went to court on that, and the judge says, well, you know, what's your excuse? I said, Your Honor, I'm accused of double parking in the South Bronx. But if you look, it says on the location, the North Bronx. It's a mistake. I was not parked in the North Bronx, and I'm not guilty of parking in the North Bronx, like this ticket states. And he says, okay, charge is dismissed. He wasn't happy. He said to me, but listen, don't think just because you're getting away with it this time, you'll get away with it again. But anyway, guys, I'm Crazy New York Driver, and you're not. Thank you for watching this video. I hope your eBay sales are good. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please put them in the comments section below. Rock on and peace!